Okay, we have questions for the players. Obviously, Georgie set the freshman scoring record today, previously held by Deion Thomas against Wisconsin, Milwaukee, December 3rd, 1990. So 29 years later, right here.
Georgie, I saw you were stealing some popcorn before the game. Did that have something to do with it? You feeling good?
Hey, maybe. Maybe it gave me extra energy. That popcorn, I like popcorn, You don't like popcorn? I like popcorn, so I had some before the game. Maybe that was it, You never know.
Georgie, what does it mean to you to be able to break that record, especially in front of the home fans here tonight?
I actually didn't know about the record. It just happened. I was just feeling good playing basketball, and then it just happened. I think it's great. It's a great feeling, but that's not what it's about. We just try to get focused on the next game, Ohio State, and just keep growing. That's what we focused on.
Georgie, I think this was probably the last game your brother was going to be here on this trip, and he said you wanted to make his visit memorable. What's it mean to do this with him here, and just can you explain your emotions?
Man, I love him, man. I have really, really small family. For me, family is everything. I would do everything for my family, It's just me, my brother, my mom, and two of my grandparents. That's all my family, And to have him here for 3 games, we won 3 games. It's just a great feeling. Family is everything, That's what we're trying to do here. Family culture. That's what we're trying to build here. That's what we have already, I think. Family is everything, man.
Georgie, just what was your mindset heading into the second half after you kind of somewhat struggled in the first and kind of struggled to assert yourself?
I really let my teammates down in the first half. The coach told me that, and in front of everybody at halftime, he said, "Georgie, you got bad energy. You got to change your energy. Usually I bring good energy." So I told him I had him. I told him, "I got you, coach. I would change my energy." That's what I did, and then that's what happened.
Aaron, when did you think he could be capable of this? Because when he was recruited, I don't think anyone envisioned anything like this his freshman year.
Honestly, first day he walked on campus, I just knew his personality. I knew he was going to do great things. Every day he seems to amaze me and surprise me, but, I'm proud of him. He just keeps working.
In the back.
Georgie, back here. Have you scored 35 points? Way in the back. When you were 8, 10, 12, have you ever scored 35 points going back to youth?
I usually don't score that much, but I think my career high was 46, the best in youth league back home. But the competition is not that good, so that's not really an accomplishment. So to have it, to do it here against one of the best competitions in the nation, that was a great feeling. Yeah.
Joe.
Aaron, just as Georgie was kind of going to work in the second half, what did you see from him that he was able to be so effective?
It just got to the point where Coach asked us, what we wanted to do to get the ball to Georgie. I'm down there when I'm playing the 4, I kind of get under the basket, but I know when he gets to a certain spot, it's going in. That's what we need from him down the stretch. Steps up, plays a big role for us. He's important, very important.
Brett in the way back.
Georgie, sorry, I don't know if this works. What are the last 6 months maybe been like for you? Think of where you came from. You only had a couple D1 offers to get to this point.
Actually, Rutgers coaches talked to our coaches. They close, and they said they didn't have a scholarship to offer me. That was pretty funny because I played in New Jersey, and I was I think 370th recruit. Nobody really looked at me, but that don't matter. You just keep growing, keep working every day. That's what I do. I work, and then things like this happen, man. It just pays off. Work pays off, man.
Aaron, your defense was so good against Michigan State. What changed today? What was Rutgers doing? They seem to make tough shots, but what was the difference for you guys?
Rutgers is a team that never stops playing. They're tough. They've been like that ever since they came to the Big Ten. So really, we knew that, and knowing they're going to throw punches, but how much we've matured over time and over this course of the season, we just knew that we're going to take those punches. When the game went in overtime, we said good because we're built for this.
Jim.
Aaron, with Io and Trent both on the bench, there were foul trouble in the second half. Georgie, your man to your left, just you came, and played like a beast. Just talk a little bit about, how he fared, during the time when both those guys were on the bench.
Well, somebody has to step up, and we know that as a family, as a team. Things happen, just playing in the Big Ten, situations happen, guy might go down hurt, guy gets in foul trouble. It was Georgie tonight, and it's going to be somebody different every night.
Joey.
Georgie, how important was this game to close out the homestand and also just kind of keep things going after that big upset and not kind of having a letdown game?
I mean, that was our goal to have. We had 3 straight home games. We want to get 3 wins. That was our goal. We accomplished that. I mean, we did a couple of bad things and good things, but at the end of the day, we gotta win. We are happy about it. We just gotta move on. Ohio State is next. We are hungry for them.
Derek, over here to the left.
Georgie, a year ago, you were averaging about 9 points, 3 rebounds a game out in New Jersey. What do you attribute this growth to? You getting better? The coach is putting confidence in you here. What do you kind of credit for that growth?
Credit my teammates. I mean, the passes I was always getting on them before. I mean, like 2-3 months ago, pass me the ball inside. And now they just pass me the ball inside. You know, they are really confident in me, and they give me that confidence. I mean, maybe in high school I wasn't that confident, you know, to play. You know, and now my teammates giving me confidence. All of them give me confidence. You know, Georgie, you got it. Like, let's go. So my teammates are huge on that. I just want to thank them. Well, that's my new family here, and I'm just happy about it.
Joey, right
here. Georgie, what did I tell you and Deion Thomas talking after the game? What was said to you?
He told me about the record. I didn't know about the record. He told me I broke his record. I said, I'm sorry, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. He said, he wanted somebody to break it, and he was happy it was me. We just took a picture. It was a great moment.
Anything else for the players? All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We sometimes forget that this is a game, but my condolences and thoughts and prayers are with Steve. And his mother passed today. And want him to let him know that the Illini fans and people are thinking about him on a tough day in which his team played really, really good. We had no answer defensively. It was a tough day for us. It was on that end of the court, and yet we did make enough stops down the stretch when we had to. Give their young kids, McConnell especially, a kid averaging 4 a game. Judy made every play, made every shot. Our pressure didn't bother him. They didn't run a whole lot, but they got the ball and were effective. Scoring over the top of us. Harper hit a really tough shot to send it in overtime, and give them a lot of credit. And then obviously, in a night when Io, Trent were fighting some foul problems, we got on the big boys' back and rode those shoulders for 29 second-half points, and that efficiency was needed, being 14 of 18 from the field. And congratulations to him, breaking almost a 30-year-old record. That's pretty special, and for a young man that didn't have a lot of recruitment, I think he's proven he's a pretty good player.
Jeremy?
Brad, I know you loved him as a prospect, but I mean, even you have to be a little surprised by what he's doing this year. What has surprised you most? Is it his strength? Is it his confidence? What has surprised you as a freshman?
Well, we knew his IQ. I mean, that's why we recruited him, his feel, and his ability to pass. His effectiveness on the block. I thought he'd be a phenomenal passer, and he still is, in the pinch post because of his IQ and feel. And, yet he's blossomed into a really good low post player. Just simply, he can go both ways. His feet are phenomenal. We knew he had good feet. Pays to take dance. And, his ability to pivot. Now he starts making free throws. He becomes a guy that is a difficult guard because you can't foul him.
Tyler?
Coach, as you mentioned, it was a struggle defensively. On the first, in the regulation, they shot 55% from the field. But in overtime, only 30% from the field, and including a 3-minute stretch where they didn't score. Something changed in overtime, or? Yeah,
we mixed up defenses a little bit more. It was one of those that's kind of a cat and mouse game. We were pretty small. We had the 3 little guys in. More of that for the offensive end, trying to create the matchups on that end of the court, and then we went a little bit of zone, and just had to get him out of rhythm of trying to drive the basketball. But the one thing that we got them kind of out of rhythm and spraying it, and they're not a great three-point shooting team statistically, but today they were pretty good, and that was a concern as well. But we were fortunate we got enough stops when we had to.
Eric?
Georgie mentioned you kind of got on him during halftime. What was just the message to him?
Well, I mean, we all know that Georgie emotionally can be a guy that has to have a little balance, and he had a little frustrating moment when he tried acting like a point guard and dribbling the ball down the court and got it knocked away, and I just wanted him to be him. Do what he does, and that's outlet it and play and not go above and beyond. And I think the second half is pretty good proof. When he does what he does, he's really good at it.
In the back, Brett. We get the microphone back there.
Brad, how much do you need a player like Georgie as you try and continue this rebuild? He's charismatic. I feel like he's kind of stealing the hearts of Illini Nation right now. How endearing is that, and to your fans and to maybe your program and what you want it to be?
I don't know if we want good kids. We want good guys, good character. I mean, who are really good players, and it's not just him. I mean, he's got personality. We know that. That's important. But it's, when you would go through the non-league and lose as much as we have, it's about, it's never been about me. It's never been I. It's always been us and we and the teammates. And Georgie's at the top of that. And I say this all the time. He's the most sincere young man I know. And he's got a great way about him, and sure. So we need that, and I mean, if the fans love him, that's even better, But it's hard not to like Georgie because of his passion and his sincerity.
Isaac?
Brad, you said on the radio that you didn't think this team would win this type of game back in December. What's changed? What's clicked for these guys to be able to close down the stretch?
Yeah, confidence. I mean, being in those battles, we can sit and pick a game in the non-league and having leads in the second half and having the opportunity to close games and miss shots or miss free throws or not get a stop. And at some point, you sharpen the knife enough, it gets pretty sharp, and you start doing some of those things and executing. And again, we're not winning these games if that locker room is we have good players, but this group has stayed together and unselfish. And I mean, today Georgie got the water cooler on him, and I mean those guys were in there hugging him and congratulating him, and that's more important than maybe anything. But experience and confidence is helping.
Eric?
Down the stretch, Aaron hits that three, and then on the other end, he draws a jump ball. Just how big was he for you guys down the stretch and overtime in this game?
Huge, and I mean that's what a senior should do. It's what it's. You start looking and you're counting on that. And the pass made the shot. I mean the pass was incredible, and I mean we ran a little ball screen action with Io and got it into the paint. We had told them in scouting report that we knew they were going to be inside the blocks and the elbows, and that was the pass. Io's got size, and whipped it right there, put it on the numbers, and AJ's going to make that 9 out of 10 times. And then the dive on the floor in a possession game, that's important, and it was a huge play.
Jim?
Brad, for a good stretch of the game in the second half, Io and Trent were both on the bench with foul trouble, at least Io was. But yet you had other guys step up like Andres Feliz and, of course, Georgie. Just talk about the resilience of your team during that stretch.
Well, I thought we got unbelievable minutes from Allen. I mean, Allen went in and defensively was really solid. He got a clean look at a three. He keeps his hands on balls that helped us there. I thought Adonis in the first half, I mean, my goodness, I felt bad because I couldn't get Adonis back in the game. But Georgie was going so well in the second half. But, he steps up and he makes his free throws. He takes a charge. He's getting an offensive rebound. I thought right on down the line, Andres had an opportunity to get on a loose ball and didn't dive on it, and he was beat up in the timeout. And yet he bounces back and goes 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And that resiliency and that bench, it's what we strive for. It's what we continue to do, and we keep making less and less mistakes on the defensive side. That sounds crazy when you give up close to 100, but yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with the way our bench is growing and developing.
Scott,
you called that timeout with like 3 minutes or so left in the game. Was that to get Georgie a blow, and so he didn't have to take him out because he looked a little gassed at that point?
Yeah, I thought they were tired. I thought we were tired, and it was just a matter of let's be fresh. Let's make sure we know what we're doing. The last 3 minutes, it was also, we talked a little bit about what we were going to try to do on the defensive end, but and matchups as well. But yeah, it's hard to get him out. And he's a tough enough kid that he can play through a lot of that.
Brad, I remember when Josh hired you, he talked about watching the game against Michigan and watching that style of play and how much he liked that. The last couple weeks, are we seeing what you want to play? What kind of ball you want to play?
Yeah, because we've gotten better defensively. I mean, we've been able to, we covered, for an hour today, we covered what Rutgers runs. They didn't run much of it. And that's an advantage for us. And then to be able to do some of those things to opponents is we've grown in that area. And not as much today where our defense led to offense. But yeah, we're getting there. Pace, tempo, efficiency, multiple guys in double figures, inside out. We didn't run probably as much as maybe some teams, but that's okay. The game called for that. And but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Tyler?
Coach, for the most part, it looked like that Rutgers played Georgie pretty much straight up defense in that second half. Is he evolved to the point where he is able to demand the ball and earn that respect from his guards?
Well, I think he's definitely earned the respect. I think there's, his efficiency all year has been really, really high. And if we've done anything, we've gone away from him probably too much for stretches of the game. And when you're shooting 50+%, I don't know exactly what his percentage is from the field. It obviously went up today, but now he becomes a different threat because we'll see if teams want to double, and that's a nice problem to have, especially when you're as good a passer as he is.
Brad, Trent has hit over 50% from three in the last 5 games. How important has it been for him to kind of get through those shooting slumps that he had earlier in the year and kind of get back on track?
You guys said he had a shooting slump. I didn't. Shooters miss shots occasionally. And, he's, like I said, Trent's got an unbelievable swagger about him and confidence, and he didn't even hesitate with the out-of-bounds play, in the corner late. And that's why we love Trent. And, it's nice. Yeah, obviously that's a big part of what we want to do, and it's a big part of his game is being able to knock down that three. It sets up his drive, and so we'll hope that continues.
When Georgie started to get going in the second half, did you start to run more sets to get him touches in the post, or was it more him outworking his guy for position and just demanding the ball?
We ran 3 things. We just kept mixing them up. We literally ran 3 actions, 2 of them out of our spread, and then one little set that we isolate one side of the floor. And we weren't fancy, but I'm one of those guys that. If it's not broke, we just kept pounding the ball to him, and we just did it out of 2 or 3 different actions with a little bit of movement.
Right in the middle.
Coach, it seemed like Rutgers kept making tough shot after tough shot. Overall, what do you just think about their core young players?
They're good. That's not Rutgers that we know or that you guys know. Okay, this is Steve's building an incredible program, and as evidenced by their winning games, those young kids, Geo Baker and McConnell and Harper. I mean, Mathis. Those guys are young. They're good players, and you know, he's doing it with a big physical style. They're as physical as any team in this league, and now those guys are starting to believe, and it's a tribute to Steve and his staff.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right.